But let's try and understand really what has happened with the mid-cap market. This sort of a fall, 10% down in a week, 8 to 10% small cap and mid-cap indices. Amisha Vora is with us. She's, of course, Chairperson and Managing Director at PL Capital. Amisha, we wanted to understand first and foremost how much of this is due to some sort of margin funding issues or unwinding of leveraged positions. Is there a lot of leverage still left in the mid-cap market? What's going on?
So margin funding was a large book, no doubt about it. It has been unwinding both because of the price as well as the position getting reduced.
Yes, go on.
And what actually is happening is there is no panic selling because of margin selling, because the systems were very well managed. I think this panic is not only due to the margin selling which is happening, or there is any M2M losses which brokers are selling. This is also done outside of the system also. There is a good amount of actual selling which is happening, willing selling, because I can see what's happening in my book.
That's an interesting point that you raise. So we can't blame it on technical factors that, people are not able to cuff up margins, so therefore brokers are selling stock in the market. It's not that. This is well thought out, organized selling. I mean, it's a well-informed sell decision then that's being taken. So, Amisha, next question would be then, which is the class of investors? Because the institutional guys, especially the mutual fund guys, have been telling us that they've been buying in the market, and we see that in the flows. So what is the feedback you're getting from family offices, HNIs, ultra HNIs? I mean, what has happened this week in the mid-cap market?
Very surprising, if you ask me. Quite a large family offices that I speak to, they've been saying that they are at 10-15% cash level, but they are not in a hurry to deploy that cash. And of course, they're not ready to look at any new idea. Whenever they want, they will, consider from the existing stocks, whichever is good. So neither mutual funds are net sellers, as the numbers also suggest, nor family offices are the ones who are really dumping the stocks. It's the large, on one end, you cannot say them retail, they are retail, HNI, ultra HNI. Everybody below family office, what you consider, I think they're selling. There are two things which happen. One is, the retail markets were so strong and the demand was so strong that anything and everything, including an MNC selling its stake and walking away, and the stock used to go up. So that has completely changed. And we see that there is now no new retail buying. That is causing, if you ask me, the biggest pressure on the markets, and valuations any which way in quite a lot of cases were very high. So they are also taking a beating. But one important thing, if you see...
Yeah, go on, Amisha.
One important thing, if you see from the perspective of how bearish the mood has turned, that if you ask me, the budget was really good. The consumption boost that they gave was very quick enough for the economy. RBI also coupled it up both with liquidity and a little rate cut. But the markets are not ready to pause. Incessant FI selling, continuous pressure on rupee has now taken its toll on the retail savings which were coming in the markets. And I think this week will really shaken the confidence of retail, which was continuously pouring in money. Even if you see January numbers of mutual funds were excellent, but now will be crucial to see.
I must point out that the markets recovered quite a bit as we were talking. We were at about 210 or so. The market was about 22,780, and we've recovered about 130, 140 odd points since. So there is a bit of a bid which is emerging, and I dare say is today the last day that we see this kind of one-way drawdown. And I mean, not a big reversal, not a big recovery or anything, but at least large caps, typically what happens is large caps stop falling and then broader markets will stabilize. I mean, at least you stop falling first before anything else happens. At least in this phase, 8 days, kind of unnatural without any sort of specific event in that sense. I mean, so sometimes those things do work. 80 points down now. We were down almost 200, I think, when we started, or maybe right before we started this edition. 22,950 or so is where the Nifty is at. So, Amisha, what have you guys been doing? I mean, you make a round of phone calls. Everyone is just watching. I mean, what else to do?
They say when a lion comes, what are you doing? And they say only lion will do something, you can't do much. So it's that moment when you really can't do much and you have to just hold on to your high conviction ideas and take the pain. And in case you have over-adventured in low quality, you have to really take the pain and cut it. These are the only two lasting solutions.
All right. Hi, Amisha. Good to hear you in. And in fact, you're saying that margin calls haven't really started getting triggered. It's just lack of participation, lack of sentiment as well. Before we let you go, give us a couple of top buy ideas from your end.
So currently, when large cap itself is at such a receiving end, I think high quality, low vol is still the place to be in. And within that, I would think that Titan could be a very good pick at every lower this one. Their categories, their business will continue to be robust. So gradually one can continue to nibble at that. A complete domestic market play. And on a slightly differentiated way, I would think that I'm not somehow still a great fan of banks. So that is not the name which is coming, though my analysts are recommending it very aggressively and stocks are a bit outperforming. That's not still coming on the top. And I would rather say that I would still back a stock like Siemens or one of the defense names than going into anything else. But I think that ultimately growth, wherever the visibility of growth will be better, is the select stock pick that will work. Yes, these are the three names you picked up, and I think that these are the three names I would back.
And that top of that list is Titan. See, Amisha is also going with a Valentine's Day flavor. Demand will always be there. There are anniversaries, there are birthdays, there's Valentine's, there's Diwali. So demand will always be there.
What do you do when, as Amisha said, a share aaya to kya? Stay still,
you just stay still. You can't do anything. Jo karega, share karega, like she's saying.
I remember a friend friend's kid who was in Canada. He was told first week of orientation. He said, "Well, the grizzlies," and said, "What happens when you see a grizzly?" Said, well, you're in trouble because if you see the grizzly now, he probably saw you a week earlier. And he said,
that grizzly has been causing a lot of stress on the street. So for the sake of investors, hopefully that bear can leave the street alone for a bit. Amisha, thank you very much. Great having you on the show. And thanks for the perspective. Wish you a good, restful weekend and a good, happy Valentine's Day as well. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you so much.
Rima?